It's projected to be just above freezing tonight in the Merrimack Valley, Representative Deal, where more than 5,000 homes are still without gas. And it's been nearly 2 months since the explosions and fires in September. One teenager lost his life. Do you feel that natural gas is still a safe energy source for residents in 2018?
The truth is, Janet, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if gas is the issue or the pipelines are the issue. We're joined by Steve Tolman. I'm head of the AFL-CIO of Massachusetts, someone who I've felt has been a great labor leader in Massachusetts. And I've talked to Steve about, I think the pipe fitters have brought this issue up to me as well as I've served on Beacon Hill. They're not sure if gas lines around our state are secure. And in fact, the National Grid workers that have been locked out, which is terrible, first of all, you have a National Grid, a company that's benefited from the tax reductions, that is now locked out their workers while they're getting record profits, makes 0 sense. And taking them off health care is an insult to injury as well. But when it comes to gas lines, you know, we've been told by those National Grid workers for a long time it's a safety issue. They've been saying it on the picket line as well when I've talked to them. The fact of the matter is, Lawrence and North Andover and Andover, that should have never happened. Obviously, it was an accident, but it's an accident that was bound to happen at some point. By the way, in Weymouth, there's a compressor station that's been sited in the wrong spot. There is a four-river bridge right there, fairly recently reconstructed. There is residences within a half a mile of that placement. That compressor station is just as dangerous as some of these faulty gas lines. Massachusetts and the federal government, FERC, really should be more involved in overseeing this.
Senator Warren, I got a tweet from Melissa today, and she said, "We are all facing December with no heat."
Yes.
She says that's bad. Yes, Melissa, it is bad. So I'll ask you the same question. Is natural gas a safe energy source for residents in 2018?
Well, Senator Markey and I have raised exactly the same question, and we have gotten a commitment. There's going to be a federal hearing here in Massachusetts in a couple of weeks on exactly this question. It's the question about the overall safety of natural gas and specifically what went wrong in the Merrimack Valley. How is it that this kind of event occurred that not only cost a young man his life, but put so many other lives at risk and has turned so many families and so many small businesses upside down? We also, Senator Markey and I, have been pushing so that we make sure that heating assistance has been released, federal heating assistance, so that people have that available to them. But it's also about holding these giant companies accountable. You know, they want to cut corners, only it's our families' lives that are on the line when they do that. So for me, what this is really about is getting to the bottom of what happened here, getting to the question of how safe natural gas is, and then making sure that we have representatives in government who are not there to look out for giant corporations, but who are there to look out for us. I think it's this fundamental question of who government works for. I think the Weymouth compressor station is exactly an example of that. And that is government that's paying way too much attention to big corporations and not enough to the safety and security of our families. That's what I'll fight for.
Should there be at least a temporary moratorium on new gas lines coming through Massachusetts?
I think until we know what has gone wrong, and frankly, until we get those National Grid workers back on the job so that we have real experts, they're writing up safety reports every day. We've heard about these safety reports. Multiple safety reports have been filed, and that's a serious problem. Safety reports mean someone is in danger potentially.
Janet, Representative, do you back a temporary moratorium?
Yeah, you know, Janet, it's easy to say let's just stop it. The fact of the matter is, we're losing Pilgrim Nuclear Power Plant in the next year. We're about to lose 19% of our state's energy. And that's going to be hard to backfill with all the renewable energies. I'm all for the wind, the solar, the hydro that we're bringing into the state, okay? But you can't build enough solar installations on the houses in this state to replace 19% of energy. And we are, thankfully, we just passed recent legislation on Beacon Hill to expand the wind power off of off our shores, which is great. But at the same time, you need to have all energies options on the table. And in my opinion, just saying no gas at all is the wrong way to go. We just need to make sure those companies are reinvesting when they're making record profits.